Hare Krishna. Welcome back to our discussion on positive thinking. We are discussing about the third sutra in energy, E-N-E-R-G-Y. E is eyes. Fix your eyes on real success. So, the topic we'll discuss today is life is a marathon, not a sprint. When people run for marathons or people run for sprints, the whole attitude is very different. In sprints, which are usually 100 meters or 200 meters or some very short distance, the whole purpose is on how one can run as fast as possible and get across the finishing line first. In contrast, when one is running in a marathon, the focus is on running not just as fast as possible, but on running as long as possible. So, a quick short spurt can actually prove counterproductive in a marathon, because that initial drainage of energy may cause the person to no longer be able to run at a good speed the whole marathon. So, pacing and stamina are extremely important in a marathon. And this means that when a person is running a marathon, at that time, that person has to recognize how far I have to go. And even if once or twice the person falls back in some laps, doesn't matter. In some phases of the marathon, one can always catch up and speed up later. And so one who sees the long run and paces oneself accordingly, that person becomes successful in a marathon. So similarly, when we are going through life, if we have a materialistic worldview, then life often takes the shape of a sprint. I have to get these marks in exam, I have to get this job, I have to do this, I have to win this medal, I have to get this trophy, I have to get a house, I have to get a car. And these things consume our consciousness, leaving us with with not much mental space for seeing the long-term perspective in life. A spiritual worldview helps us understand that we are souls and we are eternal beings. That means we have gone through many lives in the past and we will go through many lives in the future. And because of having gone through many lives thus, we primarily are dependent on our own consciousness for our happiness. We may achieve certain things, but no matter how much we achieve, we'll soon lose those things. Soon may vary, it may be a few days, few hours, or it may be few years or few decades. So when we recognize that our inner success, the consciousness that we have developed, the culture of discipline, of diligence, of self-mastery, of being able to direct our thoughts and emotions in constructive channels rather than negative channels, if we have developed these, then we will be happy whatever situation we are in. But if we have not developed these, then no matter what we achieve, we will find ourselves frustrated. We will find ourselves at the mercy of the ups and downs of life, being buffeted by whatever life sends our way. We will be elated by success and we will be devastated by failure. So, once a king called an assembly and he said, I'll give a great gift, a great prize to someone who gives me something special. So the condition is the same thing. It should make me happy when I'm sad, and it should make me sad when I'm happy. The people were perplexed. How can the same thing have opposite effects? Finally, a wise old man came and gave the king a ring, and in that ring was written, "This too shall pass." this too shall pass. So now when the king read this, he smiled. When he was devastated by failure, when he would be down because of failure, if he reads this too shall pass, he'll understand that, oh, this failure, this disappointment, this is temporary. It's going to go soon. I don't have to get worked up by it. Let me just keep moving onwards, and this too shall pass. And if a person is too inflated and elated by success at that time, one can again look at the message and see this too shall pass. There's no need for me to get hyper excited about success, because this too shall pass. This is not going to last. Let me not get overworked by it. Let me just stay calm, not lose perspective. So when we understand that we are eternal beings, and the self mastery, the self poise, the self satisfaction that we develop in our consciousness, the way we learn to adjust our thoughts and focus on constructive things rather than on debilitating or destructive things, that is going to be pivotal for our happiness. When we recognize this central role of the spiritual in our life journey, the spiritual is that which is eternal, that which is non-ephemeral, that which is unchanging. And the spiritual worldview we discussed earlier, the idea, understanding our spiritual identity, understanding our understanding the benevolent disposition of divinity, understanding that we ourselves are eternal, and harmonizing our activity so that we move towards the eternal. All this can help us to fix our eyes on real success. The real success is the development, the refinement of our own consciousness, the habit of discipline, of self-mastery that we develop in whatever work we do. So with this, we can, when we cultivate this vision that life is a marathon, not a sprint, then what happens in the short run will not trouble us so much, because we will know that the short run, what is in the short run will soon run out, and we can move onwards towards things which are going to give us lasting success. So by viewing the life not as a sprint but as a marathon, and focusing on that, the development of our inner character and consciousness, which is pivotal for our success in the marathon of life, we can avoid the negativity that comes by the inevitable short-term ups and downs that life sends our way. Thank you. Hare Krishna.